Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for visiting me once again. I'm so excited because today we're going to be doing a video based around modesty. And if you don't know, originally I wanted this channel to be a modesty channel or a channel based around fashion and clothing and what modest clothing looks like and all of that. But I kind of decided that that was a little too superficial for my personal taste and I wanted to do something a little bit more with more substance, I guess you could say. So I chose to make my channel or pull my channel into a different direction, but I still want to introduce those topics onto this channel. So we're going to be talking about modesty, and the name of the video, if you read the title, is What Modesty Isn't. So we're not just going to be talking about clothing, we're going to be talking about modesty as a concept. I always get a lot of questions on why I wear a skirt, why do I dress a certain way, and hopefully this video can help guide you guys towards that answer. We're not going to talk too specifically about dressing in skirts and dresses. I feel like that could be a whole video on itself. But more importantly, what modesty isn't. So breaking down maybe certain beliefs that people have. Oh, hello. Hi, we have a friend today. Okay. Maybe she can stay quiet. Okay, then don't be in my video. Blue. Well, I was on a roll and she just messed me up. So the point of the video really is to explain what modesty isn't, because a lot of time we think modesty is just about clothing, and that's not what it is. There's so much more that comes into modesty. So I really wanted to touch on that subject. I wanted to maybe erase some misconceptions that people have about people that dress modestly, because I know a lot of people assume things just because you wear a skirt and a dress, but I want to address that. Haha, pun intended. That's so lame. I wanted to talk about certain stereotypes that people have on Christian women, especially if they do dress in a modest fashion. And so yeah, let's get to the video. Hopefully you guys are able to learn something about me, and yeah, so let's get to the video. Alright, so the first point is, dressing modestly does not mean you are part of a religious cult or being forced to dress differently. So the reality is that outside of the US and different cultures, modesty is a practiced thing. Women dress in a certain way. If you go to specific countries and you're dressed in a way that is immodest, you actually stand out. You know, it's funny because in the US, especially in California, in the area that I live, you stand out for wearing a skirt or for maybe not exposing as much skin as other people do. You're just like, why is she dressed that way? You get more questions, but in other parts in the world, it's switched. It's the opposite. And modesty is asked from God. So we're going to read verse 1 Timothy 2, 9 through 10. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair, or golds, or pearls, or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works. So first off, here's not even talking about your clothing. It's talking about modesty as a concept. God is just asking modesty. He's just asking it from you. He's not forcing anything upon you. It's giving you guidelines. It's giving you principles on the way that you should dress or act. So let's, that being said, let's go to point number 2. Point number 2. There are no hard set rules or do's and don'ts. So there isn't a list of things that we should or shouldn't do. I feel especially in like the Baptist community that we're in, we say that there are these guidelines. Your skirt has to go to a certain length. Your top has to be here. We have so many things that are guidelines, but the reality is that they're guidelines set by people, not necessarily guidelines that are set in the Bible. The truth is that you have to make your own judgment call and make a wise choice. So yes, people can say you have to dress in this particular way, but you have to make that judgment call and you have to be wise about the decisions. So just keep this in mind. Is the skirt too tight? Is this top too low? And the big question and the reason why we even dress the way that we do is, am I worshiping and reflecting God? So yes, there are no do's and don'ts of dressing modestly. I mean, I'd like to say there is, because I feel like that would just make everything 10 times easier if there was an explicit guideline and rules that we should follow. But, you know, in reality, God didn't tell us, okay, that top is too short, that skirt is too tight. You have to wear a skirt all the way down to your ankles and not expose any part of your hands or feet. That's the reality. And I think a lot of times we kind of think that there is a set guidelines, and a lot of people, when they see girls that are dressed modestly or dressed differently, they kind of assume that something is forced upon them and that that there's certain things we can and can't wear, but in reality it's all, I don't want to say a preference, but it's all a judgment call. It's all what you deem is modest and what you think reflects God and worships God in the best way. You know, because obviously if you're wearing something that's immodest, are you reflecting God? Are you worshiping God with your body? Questionable. Now let's go to point number 3. This is a big one. Dressing modestly is not a form of body shaming. So I have seen so much in like the media and people that don't understand the concept of modesty saying that having a Christian faith really shames women and shames their body, and that that we think that we blame ourselves for other people's sins, and that women are the ones to blame for the sin of men and all that. That's not necessarily the case. Dressing modestly is not a form of body shaming. It would make no sense to body shame a body that is created by a perfect God. You know, God created us in his perfect image. I'm going to read a verse real quick. It's 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20, and it says, "What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." So God created us in his perfect image. He asked that we respect not only ourselves, but his artwork, his creation, his grand masterpiece, his most precious thing that he's ever created, and that we glorify him with our body and our spirit. So he made our bodies. He made us who we are. There's no reason why we would be ashamed of it. But he asks us to glorify him with our body. So do you really think we're glorifying God if you have a guy or someone staring at you like a piece of meat, essentially? Like they're just looking you up and down. Do you really think that is what reflects the values that God has imposed on us and that he teaches us? It doesn't, right? Because we're giving into our own desires, giving into our own flesh, kind of being selfish in the way that we treat our body, because he made our body something precious. He made our body something special, and he wants us to protect that. He wants us to dress in a way that glorifies him, and then so when people see us, they don't see something that is worldly, something that is vulgar. They see something that is pure, something that was created by God. Point number 4. Dressing modestly is not a way to hide a prideful and selfish heart. Having a heart that is humble and pure is the first step to modesty. Biblical modesty relates more to who you are than what you wear. It is a mindset that is shown through actions. If there's a lack of result, then you check your heart. So this is a really big thing, because dressing modestly does not mean that you are going to heaven. Dressing modestly does not mean you are humble. Dressing modestly is a way to reflect all those attributes. I was reading this little booklet about talking about what modesty is, and I underlined this, and it said, "We can be dressed in the most modest clothing, and yet, if we are filled with pride, then we show that we do not completely understand what real modesty is." You don't become modest by simply putting on a modest dress. Modesty is a way of thinking, and the result will be seen by appropriate actions. So there could be someone that wears a skirt all the way down to their ankles. That does not mean that they're modest. Why? Because the Bible teaches that modesty comes from inside as well. I like that she said that modesty is a way of thinking, because we can dress, you know, in a long skirt and long sleeves and something up to your neck, but inside, if you are rotten and prideful and selfish inside, what you wear on the outside does not match up with it. So it has nothing to relate with modesty that God is asking from us. That's just a way of dressing. So let's just go through these points one more time real quickly. So number 1, modesty does not mean you are part of a religious cult or being forced to dress differently. Good. Number 2, there are no hard set rules of do's or don'ts for dressing modestly. Number 3, modesty is not a form of body shaming. And number 4, dressing modestly is not a way to hide a prideful or selfish heart. So hopefully this answers some questions. We're going to be doing more videos on modesty. Right now we just scratched the surface, just like a lot of videos. We just scratch the surface of what modesty is, and hopefully in the future we'll do more about what the style of modesty and all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Let me know by liking, commenting, sharing the video. Oh, I think by the time this video goes up, my Facebook page is going to be live. So I'm going to have a Facebook page for the YouTube channel, which I think is really weird. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm getting obnoxious on Instagram too, but I love talking to you guys on Instagram, and yeah, I'm a kook, I know that. But anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Instagram if you don't follow me. And I'm going to link the Facebook page so you guys can go to the Facebook page, like it, and you can follow me on there as well. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.